Okay, welcome to today's lesson. I have turned a light on for today because it has been cloudy in England for about 3 days. Today's lesson is on present perfect. I have already made a few lessons on present perfect. Please see my elementary series and my intermediate series for other lessons. Today it's going to be just hints and tips because I think I have never focused on this topic. Okay, so it's very easy to use present perfect often because we do use it often. That's the first thing to remember. Second thing to remember, sometimes present perfect or past simple are possible. Sometimes both are possible. Okay, don't think that it must be one or the other. That's not true. Sometimes both are possible. Present perfect, as the name suggests, focuses on at least some kind of connection to the present, to the present moment. So I'm going to give you 4 situations, 1, 2, 3, 4, when we use present perfect. Now I actually used present perfect at least 4 times when I introduced this lesson. I said that I have turned the light on. Now why did I use present perfect? It's because I wanted to focus your attention on something in the present. Any past action with a present result and you want to say, I have turned the light on, look, that should be a signal to use present perfect because you're focusing attention on the present. Okay? Now, I also said for the last 3 days it has been cloudy in England. This is an unfinished period of time. For the last 3 days, it's like for the last year or for the last month. It's unfinished. You mean 3 days ago until now, the present moment. So I had to say it has been cloudy for the last 3 days. So these are also signal words, as I mentioned in number 1. These are signal words that the period of time is unfinished, maybe. If the period of time is finished, for example, I lived in Russia and I lived in Russia for a number of years. I have to say lived, not have lived, because now I'm here in England. But I do hope to go back one day. Nonetheless, well, I'll go back in summer, but I'd like to go back even and live one day. But because that period of time in my life is finished, I just use past simple. Okay, I also said I've already made a lesson. An easy lesson on this topic. Maybe I said that, maybe I didn't. Well, the word already is a signal word again for present perfect. Now this is the easy way to use present perfect. However, I should point out that these signal words can also be used in past perfect, which will be my next lesson. Some hints and tips for past perfect. So these 3 words, okay, they are a signal for present perfect sometimes. The exception is when you're already narrating a story and these words are going back in the story. They're going earlier in the story, and in which case they must be past perfect. So I used, I've already made a lesson on this topic, and I said I have never focused on this topic. Now never and ever, or a number of times, they're also signal words for present perfect. Now, I said I have never focused on this topic because never actually means in all my life. And my life is an unfinished period of time. I want you to see that there is really a connection between 1, 2, 3 and 4. They say the same thing in different ways, really. When you speak about all your life is unfinished, so it's an unfinished period of time. So we say, I have never focused on this topic, and we mean not once in my life. You should notice the difference here between present simple with never and present perfect with never, because that will give you an idea of how different they are. If you say, I never go to the cinema, it means that generally speaking, you know, in the past, in the present and in the future, I don't go to the cinema. Present perfect is different. When you say I have never gone to the cinema, it means that I have never once been at that place. It means that in all my life, until this present moment, I haven't been there. It doesn't say anything about the future. present simple kind of implies that past, present and future, I never go. I never go there. Not in the past, not in the present, not in the future. Have never gone means just until now. Okay, so there are 4 different situations when we use present perfect. Now there's 2 different types of present perfect, and really these things apply to both of them. A few things I can say though. If we say how many times or we say never, we can't use continuous. We must use simple with how many times and with never. Okay, this is because it's not really a duration when you say never or when you say how many times. It's more like a result, and we use this for duration. So this we often see with unfinished periods with dynamic verbs only. Please remember that stative verbs or state verbs, verbs which describe states, like know for example, they must be here. So you don't say I have been knowing him, you say I have known him for 3 years. So we use this for duration and for dynamic verbs, and we use this form, the simple form, for state verbs and for results. There are a few other words like already you won't use with dynamic. You will only use already with the simple form, with present perfect simple. I believe it's the same for yet. Yes, yet will only be over here. It won't be over there. Okay. Anyway, I hope that makes things a little bit easier. The only other really important thing to remember is that if you say when, if you say the word when, or you say 3 years ago, or you say at 3:30, or you say on Monday, all of these expressions are talking about when. It could be anything. All of these expressions talk about when, and so we do not use present perfect with any of these times. When we say about times, about when something happened, we don't use present perfect. This is because when you say when something happened, it's no longer an unfinished period of time. Okay? It's no longer a past action with a present result either. It's just a past moment when you say when. Okay, if you have any questions, please write them under the video about this tense, because it's a very confusing tense. Like past perfect, I think that's also confusing, but I think this can be even more confusing in the way we use it. So please ask questions under the video, and as long as I get round to seeing them, I will answer them. Okay, thanks for watching, and I hope to see you all soon.